Hello, welcome back. So I've been in the lab looking at this Corrupted Hound list. This was a request off of my first video, so thank you very much. Um, this one is in Nekima 2, and we're taking 3 young Nephilim, a Black Blood Shaman, Candy at a keyword. I'll talk about her in a sec. The new version of the Corrupted Hound, and we want to throw Ancient Pact on Nekima for Avoid Doom. So, basic premise. Take a look at our Corrupted Hound first. The new version of them gives them Nimble. May treat the walk action as a bonus action, which is pretty sweet. Their move 6. Pretty fragile otherwise. Black Blood and Regen. Fetch is one of their new actions. And call the pack. So once per turn, this specific model may summon a model with the same name and stunned in the base. You have to have a corpse marker in base contact with the model at the time you do this. That is a requirement for the bonus. So, how do we get 4 Corrupted Hounds when you summon in with stunned? Stun doesn't let you use your triggers. Well, Candy. Enter Candy out of keyword. Misery. Is it Misery? I don't play WoW. It's Opportunist. No. Yes. Before performing an opposed duel, this model may end a stunned or fast condition on the opposed model to receive a positive flip to that duel. So she is going to be just getting assailed by all of these new hounds, and she's going to smack one of them at the very end, the very last summon. Every single time, we are not allowed to relent. Relenting ignores all of the steps involved for modifying a duel, and in order to modify a duel, we actually don't even perform an opposed duel, actually. So there may be some rules here, but the way I read and interpreted it, I did it in the way that I am not allowed to relent. Manipulative is also enemy attack actions, so we will not be suffering manipulative against Candy when we hit her. And disarming is baked in on her defense tool. This is also really important because sometimes we flip really well and we don't want to. So we will be reducing the damage she suffers by 2 if we end up accidentally connecting on our melee, which is nice because their moderate is 3 damage. And I've ran this example 10 times on my own, and I have hit moderates a fair number of them. So it is not something to assume won't happen. Coming up, let's talk about Nekima. So she's going to kick everything off. She's going to be the biggest part of this is her blood has been spilled. Shockwave. It needs a 5, and it drops a corpse. So you set, and it is a Shockwave 2. So Shockwave 2, move 13, damage X. We don't really care about any of this except the fact that friendly Nephilim ignore the effects of the Shockwave, which means if Candy is clipped by it, she will be suffering the effects. We do not want that. The Bloody Banner is MVP. This is what enables the entire thing. So when resolving, each friendly Nephilim within 2-inch pulse of the dropped corpse marker may draw a card and discard a card. When you take a list that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 friendly Nephilim in it, and you deploy in a bubble, that lets you spend 1 action to cycle 7 cards. When we're looking for a summon card, it's kind of important to note that this needs a 6, right? So that means 13 minus 5, you're going to have 8 total cards in your deck. Out of your 54 card deck, you're going to have 8 cards that will allow you to summon a new dog or new Corrupted Hound. Spoilers, for every single time I've tried this, I have summoned every single hound. So it varies a little bit, but the core of it all makes sense. If you get lucky on your initial hand draw, or if your gonna blood has been spilled with the Bloody Banner trigger at least twice. If you get it twice and you have your 3 crows that you need, then at that point I flex into summoning a Terror Tot, and that will also kind of really help with the unpack. So I think those are really the key points that I want to talk about. The other surprising and fun thing to note is that Candy herself is a size 1 model, which unlocks everything. This list could have been called the Candy Delivery Service, which might have been more fun. But let's dig into this and see what we've got. So again, back in Vassal, all the random stuff. I've come up with this deployment in the bottom right. Random list. I mean, random map, random deployment. So this just so happened to throw me in corner, and I think that's probably the best. To be honest with you, there's a lot of dirtling, like playing one player shuffle, moving Candy around, and hitting and summoning. So yeah, not a lot of interaction with your opponent on the first turn here. So which means corner is probably going to be the best. We're all flying. We don't care about anything except for our dogs and Candy. And this corpse right here is just to showcase 2-inch pulse off of Nekima's Shockwave. We'll clip 7 models that are all friendly Nephilim. Another way you could do this if you wanted is Candy is notably outside this 2-inch intentionally right here. If you wanted, you could actually put Candy closer in because Shockwaves require line of sight. So you could actually put 2 models within base, and her being size 1 means that she will never see the Shockwave, which is also a pretty good benefit. So this is just how I put it together and how I ran my tests. But all that really matters right off the bat is that everybody gets clipped by the Shockwave. So let's set up, shuffle our deck, and draw the hand. Oh my goodness. We got exceptionally lucky. We have 2 6+ crows already in our hand. We burn a card for initiative. I cannot tell you, about 60% of the times I burn a card for initiative, it is a 6+ of crows. And some of these other times I ran it, I just had nothing. I had nothing but tomes and rams and masks. I didn't have a single crow in hand, and it still consistently works. So turn 1, activation 1 is going to be Nekima. She will kick it off. Just a quick refresher. She's going to kick it off. We're looking for a 5 of masks, and we're doing the Bloody Banner trigger. I'm going to leave that corpse there, and we will stone. So we come in with the 7 stones. We're going to stone for this one. We really want to make sure, yes, I can cheat, but I may also need to cheat the TN. And if I don't meet the TN, I really, really need cards. Half your hand is going to be dedicated to being holding on to summoning, which means the other half of your hand is going to really evaporate quickly. So looking for a 5, stone for a mask. Here we go. We get 13, so we get the TN. Wonderful. We drop our first corpse right there, and that's going to clip 7 models. So we're just looking for any 6 of crows or better, and we're going to cycle 7 times. 1, I will keep that. 1, 2, I really don't care anything about tomes. 3, there it is. 4, there it is again. 5, 6, 7. Yes, I will take that. And I'll get rid of that. Okay, so we're now fully set up and enabled. This is the very first time this has ever happened, so lucky me. But what I do need is I need another corpse over here, and then I want to send another corpse over this way for kind of triangles. Malifaux is truly a game of triangles as far as figuring out where your models need to go. So second action, I will stone. We get the TN, we drop another corpse. That happens, we're going to clip everybody again. We're doing 7 more cards. Just trying to upgrade our hand and filter out the Black Joker if we can. 1, 2, also get rid of these low cards. 4, 5, 6, wow. What a bunch of flips. And then the last time we got one more action, we're going to go ahead and we will cheat because we have Ancient Pact on our Blackblood Shaman. So that's going to draw us a card and we'll be able to replenish our hand. So this next one, I'm going to go ahead and drop a third corpse. And I'm not going to stone. I'm going to keep my stones in hand because I'll be able to use the ram trigger there. So flip this. We get a mask off the top of the deck. Go figure. I'm going to drop that up there. We're going to go ahead and summon the Terror Tot over here. This map was also particularly annoying because of this destructible terrain here. So that will come into play later. And we're done. So Nekima's finished. Now we go with the Blackblood Shaman. Blackblood Shaman is going to just take the smallest of wiggles as the first action, so that way we can come in and do our ancient ritual. So lands on a corpse, pulses out, focus +1 to everybody. Friendly Nephilim within 2 get focused 1. So Candy doesn't get it, unfortunately, and we're not going to worry about the size 1 grow mechanic. We're just going to give focus to everybody except for myself and Candy. And then we're going to fly with me. All fly with me's need a 6. Let's see if we get it. That fails. You know what? I'm actually going to show this as fine, not failing. Oh, I apologize. 12 off the top. I meant to cheat the ram in order to summon the Terror Tot before I went into all this. Let's walk it back. Now we're square. We have 5 cards in hand. We flip this for our failed attempt at a fly with me on Candy. She's started there. That's okay. And this has happened multiple times. This over here, Young Nephilim, is also within 2 of Candy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move out of the way, fly for 6, and end it right there. So Blackblood Shaman's done. At the end of his turn, he pulses out a heal to friendly people nearby, friendly living nearby, and then Ancient Pact lets me draw a card. Next up, we're going to go with Young Nephilim number 2. Young Nephilim number 2 is going to do a fly with me. We need a 6. We get it? All right. So we want Candy to be within this fly with me aura. We want to be just as clipped as far as we can there. Young Nephilim number 2 can just land wherever he feels like. I'm going to send him up on the top flank, so we're going to take this. Fly for 1, 6 inches. Fly for 2, 6 inches. And that Young Nephilim is complete. Candy has not activated. Blood Hunter goes now. So we need to set up. You'll notice that we're marking all the places Candy is going to be with corpses because the Corrupted Hounds require the corpse in order to summon another hound. So Blood Hunter has black blood. We do not want to clip Candy with that. We're outside of an inch. It activates. We take 2 damage. We're just going to regurgitate a corpse in place. And that should be enough to be in base with this as well as Candy when we're ready to summon. And then just the other 2 actions for Blood Hunter is going to run away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go up here and say hi. Now we start. So Corrupted Hounds. So this is the triangles here. Corrupted Hound number 1. We're going to start off bringing the card really fast. We're going to start off with Fetch. We need a 6 of crows. We know we have it in hand. Call to the Pack is the trigger, and at the time we do this, we summon the dog in base. So 6 crows or better. Do we get it? Oh yeah. So that's going to be free, which allows us to reserve one of these for a cheat somewhere else later in the turn. So red joker that. Cool. We're going to copy this guy and make sure that he's within 6 of Candy when he comes in because he's just going to charge her. That's fine. And this hound is going to take this corpse with, pull it off the board, and go up to the flank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The cool thing I like about this is that we also drop the corpse at the end of the turn. Come back here again. At the end of this model's activation, drop a corpse marker into base contact with it. which will enable you for a Grim Feast and a Grow mechanic up here with Young Nephilim up top. So that's our first summon, our second summon, but that's our first dog. Now we're going to showcase Candy's mechanic. Next up to activate is this Corrupted Hound. This Corrupted Hound has a charge lane, obviously, and I'm just going to pick it up and place it because we have more than enough than 6 inches. We're both in base contact with Candy, and we are in base contact with that corpse. The Snapping Jaws is a stat 5 on defense. So what we do is we declare the attack. Candy does the before performing, we remove stunned. So she gets a positive on her defense. So 1 stat 5 attack. So we're at 11 and a stat 5 defense. She's fine. She takes no damage. That's the best case scenario. We lose that, and now we're going to summon another hound. We need a 6 of crows or better. We get a second one off the top. That's actually really cool. So we're going to take this hound and put it up here. And then this guy is going to walk around. Sorry. This guy's going to take a half step. Base contact is always rough. That's 1 inch. We're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and drop this corpse. At this point, before we get too crazy, because we're going to start moving to the left, like I said, we're marking the places Candy has to be for the hound in order to get max value there. I'm going to go with this Summon Terratot. Activation number 1, we're going to slam and just delete this piece of terrain. Open that up. Activation number 2, we're going to bonus action Grim Feast. We're going to eat that corpse. Heal for 1. Make sure our deck is good. And then 3, we're going to just walk away. This guy needs to be up and over a little bit because he's stepping on the toes. So yeah, just set the demon baby up over here. Oh, good. This corpse is gone because we ate it. Okay, so we're lucky enough that we got 2 free summons. That was really cool, which allows us to have more cards in hand to cheat for Fly With Me failed TNs. Unactivated and unactivated, so we need to move Candy over here to this final corpse to get our final hound. So let's see if we can do this. Young Nephilim number 1, we're going to flip it, and we get a 5. We miss the TN, so we'll get a 7. It's worth noting that we have not seen our Black Joker yet. So if we had Black Joker this, that's another reason why we take another Young Nephilim or something with Fly With Me that's relatively cheap, because then we know for a fact we can guarantee a resilient play. We can pop up in here, take Candy with us, cheat if we have to, and then fly off to wherever we want to be. So we know that's the range, 2-inch range there. We have 4 inches here to place our Young Nephilim. I'm going to go ahead and copy this one this time just because these are the game of triangles that I want to make sure I get correct and that I am legal. Candy doesn't have to be in this at all, actually. We just need to make sure that we have base we can hit in base. So let's leave a little bit of space between those two. Put the Young Nephilim, I don't know, far off to the left. Okay, so that is the Fly With Me action. And then we've got 2 6-inch flies left. Let's attack the other flank and just to hang out in this corner over here. Seems good. Candy still has not activated. And Corrupted Hound number 3. So now we're back in our little cycle. We're going to go ahead and charge Candy. We're within 6 inches. We have plenty of room to go wherever we want to be. I'm just going to make sure that we come up over here like so. In base contact with both. Once again, Candy pulls off stunned in order to get a positive flip for her defense flip. We've got 20 cards left in deck. Stat 5 attack. Stat 5 defense. Okay, so our attack succeeds, which gives us a negative twist. We will not declare any triggers, even if we had a tome trigger, which we don't on the dog. So we're going to discard everything. That was the attack. We don't care about what's on top. They're the same number. And we don't have fish mechanics. So negative twist. We take the lower of the 2. If we got double moderates, we would have declared Candy's Innocence trigger, Corrupted Innocence. Sorry, WoW players, it's not Corrupted Innocence. I know. It's disarming. Okay, so we resolved all that. Candy took 1 damage. She starts at 8. She's now down to 7. We lost our stunned, which means we're going to go and summon again. Can we get the 3rd one for free? Nah. All right, so we'll cheat the 3rd one. Get the 4th Hound total. The red rims also, by the way, are to denote they are summons. That's an easy way that I like to play in Vessel that way. We want to make sure, this one's actually kind of interesting. So we need this guy to be outside of Black Blood range of Candy, because she's going to activate before him to pull off this Corrupted Hound 4's stunned, so we can get access to the bonus and walk further. But I don't want to pinch him in, so we're going to just do it like so. And we've got 1 action left, so we're going to half step out, make sure we take this corpse with us. We go half step down, that's 1 inch. Then we'll go 2 inches, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play Ring Around the Rosie, drop a corpse, and we are now setting this Terratata to grow into something for free next turn without having to rely on Nekima to drop a corpse, which is beneficial. Corrupted Hound 4 has not gone yet. These are all done. Now we go with Candy. Let's take a look at Candy's card. What I want to do is I want to hit the dog with I want to have the dog hit itself with self-loathing. It's a willpower duel. And then stat 6 willpower. And then we do a goodie basket. So goodie basket is also, because this is not keyword locked, which is also really, really helpful here. If Candy were to get beat up a little bit, she has oftentimes taken 2 hits from the dogs when I ran my tests. I will absolutely stone for a ram, or I will keep a ram in hand later on to make sure that she heals back up to max, because we want to keep her alive and healthy, right? Otherwise, if she's only down 1, the Blackblood Shaman pulses out a regen at the end of its turn, or a 1 health heal. This is kind of a weird spot. It's not really worth a stone to spend for 1 health, especially when I can heal her. So on her turn, this one, I'm actually going to use Burnout. So I'm going to use one of those summon cards that I had reserved for Burnout. So let's actually just walk through her whole turn, and we start with Self-Loathing. So this is a stat 6 willpower against a stat 3 defense, and this is going to be a positive twist because we are pulling off stunned. So Candy's attack, 6 plus 1 will take 7, and then the 3 plus 2 is 5. So 7 to 5 is a negative twist. That'll be interesting. That's a moderate damage of 3. It just so turns out that in this case, I have a weak card in my hand, and I will cheat it. We've been getting really, really lucky with our flips. So I'm going to cheat that down to 1 damage. He takes 1 damage, Black Blood goes everywhere, but Candy's out of range. The other thing is I want to give him Burnout. So we're going to do a goodie basket. Candy's goodie basket requires a 5 to go off, and a crow for Burnout. So we cheat that. So we're going to do a heal flip on the dog. 1, 2, 3. Heals 2. Goes back up to max. Then takes 2 damage and gets fast. And that is Candy done. Before we finish, before we go with the Corrupted Hound 4, we want to threaten this flank down here, and we have 2 pretty good cards in our hand to guarantee. So let's see if we can miss our Black Joker. Now that I called it out, guess what's going to happen. All right. So come over here. Make sure we're within 2 inches. We could probably even be over here just to min-max ourselves a little bit. We try our Fly With Me needing a 6. Nope. Okay. So we cheat in the 11 for the other summon card that we were saving. We don't really need it. Let's fly 4 inches. Take this dog with us. And we got one more fly left because we had to fly from down here to up there. And we'll just creep around this corner. And then this dog still has not activated, and he is the final one to go. Now we take Corrupted Hound 4. Top of his turn, he regens 1. And this is just bizarre bonkers. We get 6 inches of movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a fast action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the bonus action because Candy pulled off stunned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for nimble. There it is. We end the turn with 6 cards left in our deck. We have a 13 of masks in hand. Burn through 47 just on our own. We've got Terror Tot over here set up. Terror Tot set up to grow into anything you want. That's size 2. You can get another Shaman. You can get a Lilitu. We have another grow opportunity up here with the young Nephilim. And then Nekima is pretty well set up to kind of fly and support wherever we need. We're well grouped in 3 different areas. If we get hit with shockwaves, that's going to be a bad time because everybody will probably melt, but that's just how that works. Yeah, so we got Corrupted Hound over 4 over there. My notes, I was really trying hard not to cheat with Nekima at the very beginning of the turn. And I found that I was actually able to cheat a little 1 card. I would always recommend only cheat 1 card maximum and make it the last card you flip. If you cheat your first card, that's great. You don't have to spend a soul stone. But if you flip another card for your second shockwave and it misses the TN, then now you're cheating 2 cards and you're down to 4 cards in hand and you have to keep 3. Your Blacklit Shaman will get you 1 back, which is why I activated it so soon. But the Focus Pulses out is great. Plus you have 13 of masks in hand. You often end this turn with either red joker, black joker, high mask, or any severe that you want. And I love keeping high masks for the young Nephilim's onslaught. Ending a couple turns is really great. That's the mechanic. That's how you get 4 out. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. See you on the next one.